I hate you both.
We did it.
I hate what that
I have to tell you, Jamie, I love this movie. Welcome to another episode of the Creature Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Lindsay.
Today we're heading to Australia with 2009's feel-bad movie, The Loved Ones, written and directed by Sean Byrne. This is his first movie. He's only done 2 other movies after this. One called The Devil's Candy, which has Ethan Embry looking like fucking Iggy Pop as a tortured painter, which I think I'm going to watch when I get home. I think I have it queued up already. And then he did one that just came out last month called Dangerous Animals, which is Jai Courtney playing a serial killer who uses shark tourism as a way to dispose of his victims. Also sounds kind of fun.
It does sound kind of fun.
But this was his first one. We're going to just dive into it because I don't have a lot else to say.
Okay.
Lindsay, tell us about The Loved Ones.
All right. So we start in a quiet town at dawn, showing shots of the town.
Yeah. I love beginnings like this. I love just seeing the little quiet main street, and then it cuts to a lone farmhouse, and it's just kind of like showing how small this environment is.
Yes, it is showing how small this town is. There is a father and a son driving on a country road. They're making fun of each other's music.
Yeah, so the opening credits start with a song called Superstar. It's just kind of a nice, beautiful little love song about how he's my Johnny and I'm his queen. And it cuts out, I love hearing the radio dial go through stuff until it lands on another Australian band called the Little River Band doing a 70s song called Lonesome Loser, which is really perfect for what we're going to do going forward. Okay. And of course, yes, this is the dad's pick.
Dad's pick, yes.
He's in love with it. Once it lands on the song, he's just singing along, and his boy is fucking embarrassed in real time.
Right, and his dad makes fun of his heavy metal music that he listens to. Yeah.
And the boy's driving.
And the boy is driving, yes. And for me, it shows that they have a genuinely loving relationship.
Yeah,
yes.
And a little like everything about the relationships in this movie are very subtle and very important. So as the jibes go back and forth about the music, the father reaches down and puts a cigarette in his mouth, and you see the boy is disappointed. And without saying anything, the father just goes, give me a break. You know your mom's sneaking cigarettes too.
Yes.
So this is a conversation, obviously, that's been going on. They're trying to quit, and the boy is mad that his parents aren't able to kick this habit.
Right. Well, in that very moment, we look back at the road, and there is a half-naked boy covered in blood in the middle of the road. Yeah. And Brent, who is the boy who is driving, he swerves to avoid this boy in the road and ends up crashing the car into a tree. And
goes to black.
Yeah.
Brent is going to be our main character. He's played by an actor named Xavier Samuel. I'm not going to have a lot to say about almost anybody but one of these actors because they all work, but they're Australian and I haven't seen a lot of their other stuff.
Right. So we cut to a school letting out for the summer.
Yeah. This is 6 months later.
Yeah.
After the wreck.
2 boys are talking about a party after the dance. I guess there's an end of school dance. And Brent says he's not going to go. He's just going to smoke and hang out.
Brent is visibly
different.
He's
sad
or gaunter. His hair's in his face. And he's buying weed from his buddy.
Yeah.
Which is not just his drug dealer. He's obviously his good friend.
Yeah.
And that is Jamie. Is that his name?
Jamie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then a goth girl shows up, and Jamie goes to go ask her to the dance, and she says yes, and he's like super excited.
And he jumps up and down,
Yeah, and then a mousy girl, Lola, she walks up to Brent and asks him to the dance, but he's like, I can't, I'm going with Holly.
Right.
He already has a girl.
So this mousy girl is Lola, like you said. She is played by Robin McLeod. She is the most crossover to American stuff. She was in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, but she was also, do you remember that show Hell on Wheels that we watched inexplicably all of?
Sure.
She was in almost every episode. She was a girl with a Native American tattoo on her chin.
Gotcha.
So she has the bigger career of everybody in this flick.
Okay.
So it sounds like, though, when Brent turned her down, he wasn't like
not mean.
He's not mean at all.
He's just like, I'm already going with
somebody. Yeah. So then we flash to Brent and Holly. They're together. Holly just got her license. They're going to go in her car that she's driving, and they're having sex, basically. And we see that when Brent takes his shirt off, he's wearing a razor on a necklace, like a razor blade, and he cuts himself. Like, he's all cut up on the side.
So much is happening in this scene. So, like, Brent is dangling over a girl asked me to the dance and won't tell her the name. And it's basically they're having playing with sex things. It's like, I want this for this and whatever. It's playful. And then the shirt comes off and you see the blade and the cuts. And then it's acknowledged, not talked about at all.
No.
Like, pretty much immediately they start kissing to not talk about it. They fill the space with making out.
Yeah.
And then I guess we were going to talk about the driver's license thing.
She just got her driver's license. I said that.
Right, but it's a real problem for Brent's mother.
So we do pull out a little bit. We see that Lola is spying on them.
Lola
having
is
sex.
watching them having sex in the car.
So then Holly drops Brent off at home, and she's like asking, is your mom aware that I'm going to pick you up, you know, basically. And he's like, I haven't talked to her about, she doesn't know you got your license, any of that kind of stuff. Because it becomes a whole deal. He goes inside, and his mom does not want to let Brent go in Holly's car. She's like, I'll give you money for a cab. And then he gets really upset because he thinks his mom is blaming him for his dad's death. So this is where we find out his dad did not survive the car accident.
Yeah, he was driving the car, probably one of his first drives. Maybe even he was learning to drive with his dad when that happened. And so that is the cloud that hangs over the mom and the son. Obviously, this has only been 6 months later, and driving is a thing. She doesn't want this boy to drive.
Yeah, I mean, she says to him that cab drivers have more experience than Holly.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, what's to say that the cab driver is going to be a better driver?
She just knows that kids have hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and it seems like Brent doesn't want to drive anymore. Like, he's traumatized. He's like, I don't want to drive cars.
Brent doesn't want to do a lot of things anymore, one of which is maybe living.
Yeah. So he angrily goes on a walk with his dog. And he takes that razor out and he's gripping it while he angrily walks into the fields or area.
It's almost like a quarry.
It's almost like a quarry, yeah.
I mean,
and he's just
probably
like bleeding, you know?
Yeah.
So then he gets to a rock face and he starts climbing up. And it's like a quarry, but it can't be very big because the dog ends up at the top really fast.
Yeah.
And so he's climbing up this rock face. And then he gets to like the middle and he starts like hanging himself off with one hand, like really contemplating falling.
It's clearly suicidal ideation.
Yeah. And then
he's like, could I just let go?
Yeah, and then he almost falls, and then he, of course, saves himself and does not fall, and then climbs up to the top. So there is definitely, we're showing that this boy is definitely dark and in a dark place right now. So he's at the top, he's smoking weed, he's got his headphones in, and the dog starts barking at something. And so unbeknownst to Brent, a man is behind him and mom starts calling at the same time. And he picks up, and then just at the last, when he picks up, this man covers his face with a rag and kidnaps him. And I'm like, did mom hear something? Because it sounded like she heard something, but she didn't say anything, you know, that she did. So then we flash to Brent's friend Jamie picking up his date, Mia. So Mia, he brought her flowers, which she's surprised about. But Mia's parents, it turns out, is that her dad is the police officer.
Yeah,
seems to be the only police officer in this town.
So this is really kind of cute, and I kind of recognize myself as a young man in this, where Jamie's suit doesn't fit well. No. It's colored terribly. It's mismatched. He's putting Banaka and Axe body spray on. He's got flowers, and he presents it to this goth girl who is wearing just like, she's all black, but it's a dress. And she's like, this isn't a romantic date. When she's handed the flowers, she's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
So that's not what I thought. She was more surprised to get flowers.
Well, perhaps.
Yeah, not necessarily that it wasn't a date.
She's in the midst of rolling her eyes at the beginning of this the whole time because her parents come out. They want pictures.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly awkward all around. The father comes out.
So she's just sort of like, you're being cheesy, right?
Yeah, kind of.
But she has deeper shit going on as well.
Which they haven't told us yet.
So. But we only know that the father's a cop because he's still wearing his
uniform. Yeah. So Brent's mom is out looking for him because he's going to be late for this dance. And she doesn't find him. And she gets back home and Holly's just now showing up because she's going to pick Brent up for the dance. And she's like, do you know where he is? And then the dog shows up and he's hurt.
No.
He's big time hurt.
This is the worst pet thing we've done so far. This is a hurt dog that's basically dragged himself home.
Yeah.
And
he's laying on the ground. He has dragged himself home.
The dog is well trained. It's doing that like weird dog scoot thing.
Yeah. And it's covered in blood. It's not good. So then we flash to the car that took Brent and it stops for fast food. Now we're flashing again back to the mom, and they call Mom and Holly. They call Mia's dad at his house because he's the only cop.
They basically
and
call
he's
the
like,
police.
this has happened before. It makes us feel like Brent disappears, you know?
Brent,
But she's like, but they stabbed the dog this time. Somebody stabbed the dog.
And it's prom night. He has a date. Does he often disappear when he's supposed to?
He went off for an angry walk and climbed up a rock wall just a couple hours previous. So this scene breaks my heart. Holly is driving the dog to get aid.
The vet,
and you could tell there's some pretty intensity there where the camera's to Holly.
The dog is whining.
To the dog. And then we pull back and the car just slows down and pulls over and stops. Yeah. It is the most effective, beautiful way of going.
The dog died.
The dog died.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hate this movie. Fuck this movie. Let's wrap it up.
For you, that will be the worst thing.
End of the podcast.
Jamie and Mia arrive.
They better catch these people and fucking kill them. This better be some John.
Don't worry about some of this
Don't
stuff.
worry about it.
Better be some John Wick shit.
Just right out of the gate here, we are jumping around to all of these people for a real purpose as far as I'm concerned. We are just making a tapestry of the connectivity of the people around Brent.
Yes. So Jamie and Mia just got to the dance and they're in the car. And then we're flashed to the car that took Brent, stops now for roadkill. So first he stopped for dinner at the chicken place.
Yeah.
And then he also picked up
Unbeknownst,
roadkill.
we're doing basically the same thing twice. It drives past a dead wombat and it brakes, reverses back and picks up the wombat corpse and drives off.
Okay. So the car is parked, and then the cover is lifted off the back of this car. It's some sort of like El Camino type car where it has a truck bed, but it's not an El Camino because it's Australian.
These are specifically Australian cars. I looked them up, and it's basically like an El Camino. It's got kind of a small
truck bed
top,
sort of.
and then a truck bed.
Yeah. So we picked up the lid. We see Brent is passed out in the back, and Lola comes running out, and she's like, "He's dead. You ruined it." And then they start listening to his heartbeat, and she's just so creepy.
Yeah, she's
so
just
now
like,
we know Lola's in on it.
She's like, God damn it, Dad. And the father is kind of a grizzly. He's clean cut, but he's an older man and gaunt. Just setting the scene. That's who, because we're going to spend some time with this couple.
Creepy man.
Yeah. So now we have a montage of Lola's room covered in like collage with most of the guy bodies without heads, dolls in weird positions. Sad girl music. This song is insane.
This is another Australian song by Casey Chambers called Not Pretty Enough.
Yeah.
And this is Lola's song.
Yeah,
she loves this song and she sings it
the
later.
entire movie. Okay, so Lola is drawing a red dot on Brent's photo and pasting it into a scrapbook, like on his forehead. And he's got a big heart around it.
Big heart around it.
Yeah,
It's just
weird girl stuff.
Little girl doing scrapbooking with her favorite,
Yeah.
Teen Beat magazine type shit, but it's infinitely creepier.
Yeah, it's much creepier. So then the kidnapper, which is her dad, brings her a gift in a pink bag, which turns out to be a pink dress and pink shoes.
It's a real Pretty in Pink type of scene.
Yeah.
If I remember, I haven't seen that movie in 100 years. Molly Ringwald's father is an older man too, right?
Yeah.
Like gaunt and whatever.
Yeah.
But in that one, she makes her own.
She makes her own
Yeah.
dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, for some reason, when I see this scene is really giving like twisted upside down Pretty in Pink to me.
Okay.
Just this scene.
Okay. All right. So then she asks her dad to stay. I want to see what it looks like. And then she takes off her clothes to her underwear and changes in front of him. And we see him focus on all her bits.
He is, I can't express, he's hungry. And it's not like, I can't wait. He's ashamed to be hungry. Like it is a lot of emotions going on in this man's face. And all of it is just pure creep.
Yeah,
It's just
and I
like,
literally wrote creepy.
you guys need
It's
to get
so
the
creepy.
fuck
It's
away
so
from each
icky.
other.
Find out that this isn't his real daughter, but just some
Nope.
other girl
You
he kidnapped.
wish.
Yeah, you wish.
And then once she finishes dress, she turns around and he goes, pretty as a picture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Brent wakes up and he's in a tux and he's tied to a chair, hands behind his back, feet are taped, right? Or are they tied? I can't remember.
They're tied now. The chair itself is bolted to the floor, and I think...
I'm pretty sure they're taped at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will be pinned down.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so he's at a kitchen table with Lola and her dad and her mother. And
What we think is the
but
mom.
her mother seems to have a bullet hole or something
That's
in her
exactly
forehead.
what I said at first.
Yeah,
and then
bullet hole.
it's
And then
like,
we find out what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she alive?
Oh, yeah, she's alive.
she's...
It's like a weird
she is
lobotomy.
clearly not with it.
She's not
and
with
they
it.
don't ever call her... He's only called her Bright Eyes.
Yeah. The hole is like what she drew on
It's sort of
Brent's.
like what she drew on the
like
picture.
the picture, the same place that she drew the red hole on Brent's picture. Yeah, same hole in the scrapbook. So then her dad hands her a blue bottle, and she fills a syringe with, I assume, drain cleaner. And
Yeah, something.
then her dad holds Brent down while she injects it in his neck. So we're getting the whole vibe this whole time that dad is showing her the ropes on how to deal with this boy. Yeah. And so this injection basically like paralyzes his vocal cords or something.
Whatever it
Potentially
is.
burns them out. We don't know. He can't speak at all anymore.
He
after
basically
this.
can barely whisper from here on
Yeah.
out. He almost says no.
He can make
no more
screaming
words.
noises, but he can't speak. Yeah. So then they take Polaroids because it has a sign up on the wall that's like the end of school dance, like, and they put a disco ball up and there's lights and
Well, in real
it's all decked out.
right after the syringe happens, he's trying to make noise, and both of Lola and her father go, "We can't hear you," in his face, and it is very sadistic.
It's very mean. Yeah. So they take the Polaroids first, Lola and Brent, and then they add Bright Eyes, her mom, to the show, and Lola childishly pulls her mom's hair at the moment the flash goes off, so that dad thinks that she's afraid of the flash, but no, she's just fucking picking on her mother. Yeah.
This is the look where I was like, I can't wait to watch Jamie's face this whole time.
I looked it up because I hadn't heard of it. I looked it up and I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, it's my least favorite type of horror.
Yeah.
Except for in the case of hard candy.
Right.
I like it when the person, if this were the other way around, like, he was like, you guys killed my dog, and he was torturing them, and I'd be like, you deserve it, get after them. But because it's just some nice kid who was like, no, I already have a date to the dance. Thanks, bye. Now I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
So we flash to Mia and Jamie are smoking and drinking and headbanging, and they never made it into the dance. They're just having a little party. And then back to Lola and her dad. They're sucking on chicken bones.
It's just chicken and milk. I hate this
so
scene.
gross.
It's so gross. Chicken and
chicken
milk.
and milk, yeah.
The creepiest of all the food combo.
And then Lola's really mean to Bright Eyes. Jealous. She force feeds her chicken.
And then force feeds
And then
Brent.
asks Brent if he wants some. And then tries to shove chicken leg in his mouth, and he won't participate. And then she asks him if it's finger licking good, and he literally is still not participating. And so Dad grabs a hammer to threaten him to participate. And so then he finally nods, and then she tries to get him to suck on his finger.
I have a couple moments here that repeat. In this case, it says, Dad gets hammer. I stop taking notes. Because the scene just kind of rolls on, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's so creepy because she's
the instigator. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
in control of this whole
She's
world.
raping him.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is.
That is obviously the intent of. She's like, you're gonna like me. You're gonna be with me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is at least an interesting reversal from what is depicted and what is taught and what is true.
Right.
Statistic wise, not saying that it doesn't happen to men too,
Right.
but disproportionately it happens to women. That's why I was like, the movie was already interesting right at the beginning where a teen boy is kidnapped by a man instead of like a teen girl.
Yep. And there will be penetration later.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
gross.
It's not the way you think, but it's bad enough. It's a metaphor for the other thing.
Okay. So then Brent kind of makes some grunty whisper noises, and she listens, and she's like, he's asking for the toilet. But she's like, she won't let him go until he sucks her finger. And then so he does.
Gross.
Yeah. He does, and then she enjoys it so much. Dad does this thing where he stands up from the table when he slams and squeals his chair back. Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
This is going too far.
It's too far.
that's too much. You're right. Good
And then-
job.
Well, it's just
Good
he's
job.
not because of any decency. It's because he's jealous.
He's jealous.
Good job,
Yeah.
Dad. Way to intervene.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then she asks Brent if his bathroom need is 1 or 2, and he says 1, basically nods 1 or whatever. So she drinks the whole glass of milk on the table to empty the glass, and then undoes his pants.
You should have said 2. She'd be like,
Well, I don't want to know what she would have done.
I know, right? She undoes his pants so that he can pee in the glass, and he can't go, obviously. He's in a stressful situation. So she tells her dad to grab the hammer and a nail, and she tells Brent that he's got 10 seconds to pee or his dad's going to nail his... She doesn't say penis, but she means
she's
penis.
going to nail it down.
Nail it down to the chair, yeah. So she starts counting, and she gets all the way to 9 before he manages to pee.
Yeah.
she really went from 0 to 100, just straight for nailing the penis to the chair.
Yep. And then she's like...
God.
And then after he's done, she's like, it's crying. I better kiss it better. And she puts her head down like she's going to. But then she says, or maybe I'll bite it off so she can never kiss it again. Because remember, she was spying on Holly and him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is... I hate you both.
We did it.
I hate what that
I have to tell you, Jamie, I love this movie. It is okay. This one was we have an idea for Creature Pop After Dark that might be a Patreon thing. It might be whatever, except it won't happen because you'll have to be there for all of it. And this one was very much teetering on the line of, is Jamie just going to sit here for 2 hours just seething with rage? And yes.
Like, this is the kind of stuff that I never watched because it sticks with me in a way that is very bothersome, and it shows. We've already talked extensively about how my dreams are fucked up. Yeah. This shit will just like creep up. Yeah.
I have to say, for all of what we are saying, it's only implied for almost all of this. Even the dog's actual death is a car coming to a stop.
We don't see this boy's penis.
We don't see any of this stuff, and then when it gets so close,
of course, you don't see his penis.
That's the one thing she's mad about. Of course they don't get
You don't see it. You would never see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Brent here now rears up and kicks Lola with both feet into the table.
Yes.
And
Get
she
it,
goes
Brent.
flying. And then Dad yells, "Princess!" And then Brent gets loose and hops out the door because his feet are still taped together. So he's hopping
That's
out
right.
the door.
And this whole time we have been cutting to Brent slowly working on these
Yeah,
knots
he's been
behind
trying
his
to
back.
escape. Yeah. The whole time. So Dad goes outside and he turns on the car's headlights, and then we flash to Brent is under this car. And he's getting his feet loose because, remember, he's wearing a razor blade around his neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right. Good story stuff.
And he gets his feet loose, but Dad, in the interim, has gone into the car and started reversing the car to try to find him. And so we see Brent now exposed by the lights of the headlights. And so then he chases him through the yard, and he runs to a tree, and he climbs the tree, and Dad kind of barely hits the tree. And Lola comes up behind him with a flashlight. And so now they find him in the tree, and they start throwing rocks at him.
Yeah, he's about 20 feet up in this crook of a tree, and they both start just having a blast throwing rocks at this boy up there.
Yeah, they are. They're having so much fun. They're fucking sadistic assholes. And so I wrote, Lola enjoys it way too much. Psycho. So he falls.
Yes, Lindsay. It turns out they're both psycho.
Yeah. So Brent falls, and he also manages to knock himself out a little bit because he falls onto the car. And so
I don't think he knocked himself out.
Sorry. Yes. The fall knocked him out. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think it was definitely on them. Let's not victim blame here.
This is
So
happening.
they tied
Let's
him
put
to
the blame where it's due.
Yeah, so they're back inside, and they've tied Brent to the chair again. They've taken off his shoes and socks, and then they hammer a knife through two knives through his feet, one on each foot.
And as the father says, boys shouldn't hit girls.
Boys
This is
shouldn't hit
his
girls, yeah.
Punishment.
Yes, it is punishment. And then they just keep hammering and hammering while Lola demands that he cry.
I love this
and
scene.
he refuses to fucking cry.
It is this close up where she's going cry, cry, and then it's just the side, her screaming face and his absolutely stoic face as she goes cry. I
Screen grabbed?
grabbed it last night because I'm like, what am I gonna fucking draw for the cover of this movie? And I'm like, is it gonna be you screaming in my face to cry?
Right. Now, this is where, for
Should
me,
be screaming something fun. I don't know
Yeah.
what you should be.
this is the point in the movie where I realized that what they had injected into his throat made him silent. It took me that long to realize he wasn't just like being like, I'm not reacting to you. He could not.
Well, I don't even
He
think
can't scream in pain.
at this point in the movie, I thought he's gone. He's not giving these two fucking assholes
Yeah.
any movement.
If
Right.
Boy, this whole movie really is just about rape and consent, isn't it?
Yes, it
Because
is.
it's really
Yeah.
about he does not have control at this moment over his body or what is being done to
him.
it. So he is just not going to give them the satisfaction. She wants him to cry, and he's probably hurts really fucking bad, but he's like, I'm not going to cry.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's
It's-
exactly
the
what's
look
going
in
on.
his eyes is just pure fuck you.
Yeah, it is.
He's like, just kill me.
Right.
Just let me be dead. Fuck you. I'm not going to play your
Boy.
game.
Got bad news for him.
All right, so we flash to Mia's dad, the cop, finding Brent's cell phone, headphones, lighter, and pot up where he was kidnapped. He brings it home to Mom's house, where Holly asks her at the same time if she blames Brent for his dad's death.
I do have to say, is there going to be a point in this movie where someone blames him because he was getting high?
No.
No, not at all.
Of course not.
This is no longer. Yeah. The people around Brent are trying.
Yeah, they
and
are
they
all
always
trying.
have been trying.
They are all trying. So Mom does not answer Holly's question.
Right.
And then we go back to Lola is showing Brent her scrapbook. So this is where we realize that this is an ongoing thing since she was young.
This is not his first boy.
It's not her first. So that she has been instigating the kidnapping of boyfriends for five.
Since she was like, the first one's like 8
years
old or
old,
something.
yeah,
now
like-
Lola's the same age as them.
Yeah.
Not that that makes it better, but that's.
He's
like,
18.
She's always
so it's like
got-
a decade. Yeah.
Age appropriate.
She's got
Oh,
a
yeah.
crush on a peer, and she takes that peer.
And she takes that
home.
peer, yes. So, like, when she was 8 years old, she kidnapped her first one, who was also 8 years old. So she has a scrapbook full of missing posters, full of the Polaroids that she took with these boys, what she did to them,
Yeah.
all of it. And then we get to one where the most previous one.
Timmy Valentine.
Timmy Valentine, the one who got away. So this is the bloody man from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And
You automatically click back that this
Yeah.
is circled back on itself.
yeah.
And she
she's like,
says, I'm ready to draw on him now.
well, before that, she's like, he's probably dead. And Brent actually realizes that this is the man from the beginning of the movie.
yeah.
It's
Did they
more
do a
than
little
just us.
flashback? To
Yes,
the
they did a little
one on the
flashback,
road?
and
Okay.
Brent recognized.
And when
the
you
voice.
first...
So now he really knows that it's Lola's fault.
Yes.
That he crashed the car.
Technically,
and
yes.
when you first see the crash, you just think it's a bloody boy, and now you're realizing the blood is in a shape.
It's in the shape of a heart. Yeah. Ugh. So this is also where we find out that Timmy Valentine is the son of the cop, Mia's brother.
Yes, we'll get into that a little bit more as we go.
Okay, so she says, I'm ready to draw on him now. And so it doesn't show us what happens, but it flashes to her holding a bloody fork, and she has drawn with a fork.
God damn it.
A heart on his chest with her initials in the middle.
Ugh.
The LS.
And an L, because she's Lola Stone.
Lola Stone. And she drew an LS with a heart around it with a fucking fork.
And Dad throws salt on it.
She's throwing salt. Well, he's throwing like little shakes of salt on it, and he's, making noise. And then
Is that so it will scar?
Yeah. And then she takes the cap off. I mean, it's going to scar regardless. It just hurts more. Salt in the wounds, And then she takes the cap off, and it's a big thing of salt, like when you buy a big jug of sea salt. And she takes the plastic cap off and then just chucks it.
I hope she dies by burning alive at the end of this.
Once again, they yell, "We can't hear you."
We can't hear you. They taunt him, yes.
I hope he stabs them both in the ears and is like,
You
can never hear me now. I want to get to the part where
Jamie,
he's killing them.
Jamie, if you're not gonna watch the movies, you need to sit here and listen.
He's been tortured enough. I want him to kill them now.
We're not close to done yet.
Oh my God.
So we go back to Holly, and she's in his bedroom, and she finds flowers and a card. It's a Humpty Dumpty card in Brent's room. There was a scene earlier where she's like, "I love you," and he can't respond. He can't respond. But in this card, he's like says something about how
thank you for putting me back together again.
Yeah.
Hence the Humpty Dumpty.
And I love you.
And I love you.
In this card. Yeah. Oh. I know, it's really sweet. And then we flash to Mia and Jamie. They finally go inside to the dance after they're done partying.
Mia is so fucked up at this point.
She's very fucked up at this point.
And Jamie is sitting in the car while she's guzzling booze and just hitting this joint over and over and worried. He's not having fun. Yeah. He's worried about Mia because she's going nuts. She's going so hard to being blackout. And he's just like, maybe we should go in? Mm-hmm. Maybe we should go in? Mm-hmm. And so by the time they get in...
I just wanted to have a little fun. You seem like you need rehab.
Yeah. Mia's draped over him on the dance floor as they're kind of swaying. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back at Lola, and they have a fake crowning ceremony for Queen of the Dance with the cracker crowns. You remember the
these fucking British folks, these colonists like their paper crowns, don't they?
Yes, they do. And then...
They love a monarchy.
Yes. And so it is actually, like, crazy, like, slow. Dad is, like, putting this pink paper crown on her head while she's, like, she thinks she's all
ceremony.
Pretty. It's this whole ceremony. It's crazy. And then we flash back to the actual school dance, and Jamie and Mia are dancing, and Mia starts to feel Jamie up on the floor while everybody stares. Like, she's got her hand on his dick. And
Jamie's kind of, like, dancing around. She's
also, he's got a girl touching his dick.
He's a boy.
What is with the girls in this movie? Consent goes both ways, ladies.
Maybe that's what this movie's trying to tell everyone.
Both ways.
This can happen to boys.
Yes, I didn't actually put that together, but it is both boys are having consent taken from them.
I can't explain
in different ways. Yeah.
What I was telling you this morning is, we don't talk about these a lot. But so I'm usually vague about stuff. But when I first watched this movie with you, we only watched this once before.
Right.
Put it on the list. We didn't know how.
No, we
didn't even remember.
We
know we liked it.
Yeah.
But in our head, it was pretty much Brent in the room with the dad and Lola the whole time.
Yeah.
The second viewing, I'm like, oh, this is so important that there are these. It's hard to say this. Parallel nights are happening to both of these boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And come at me. I know that this isn't remotely close to one another, but they're both going through situations and not... I don't think Jamie's a victim here. No. I think he's just having to handle a night with someone who is too emotionally untethered to have this night.
Right.
And we know why.
It's in the same way that, like, when women are sexually assaulted by, like, their dates...
Yeah.
Especially younger women, if they're in high school and such, they may not have the words to articulate, like, maybe now. We talk about it more now. But there's a point when you're like, you like this guy and you want to be with him and stuff, but you're only comfortable doing the things that you're comfortable doing. Right. And if someone's pushing you past that, that's sexual assault too. Even if you like the person, even if you agreed to go to the date. So, like, what's happening to this boy? He asked her out. He wanted to go to the dance. He likes her. They wanted to part. But now he's like... This is going wrong. And maybe some of this is also coming from the fact that he wants to be with her and like make out and stuff, but he also knows that she is blackout. Like she is so fucked up, and he was like, I want to do this not here in a public place. And are you in a good position?
I got bad news for
Wait for the next scene.
None of this is like moralizing or black or white because things go to the next scene. But I do want to say real quick, this movie also talks about this both ways in incredibly subtle ways that since we're here, when Holly's in the car making out with Brent in the beginning, he's dangling the name over her in order to push sexual stuff forward.
Right.
Holly is there, she's down, but she's being guided by him.
Sure.
And then later on in the car, Jamie is talking to Mia, who's in the midst of getting hammered.
Yeah.
And Jamie says something about being clean. Like,
that's because the dog, remember the dog went after his junk?
Oh, yeah. The dog was sniffing. He's like, oh, your family dog was sniffing my dick because I have weed in my pocket. That's why he was down there, not because I'm dirty or anything. And she goes, why? Because you expect me to suck your dick later? So there's all of these little bits of challenging both sexes to expectation versus like how transactional is all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and I think this all points to, this is going to show how old I am. If you're in high school, maybe you're not mature enough
to have sex.
Maybe you're not there yet.
Right.
That's what I absolutely loved about the Holly Brent makeout scene in the car is I wrote on my notes. I often write notes that are huge that never make it into these things. I wrote how complex that scene was. And the end of the note was how much young versions of us have to hurt each other in order to, I guess, get scarred enough to be adults.
Right.
Because it's two babies just fucking with each other because they're emotionally unable to. Yeah. She calls him an emotional retard at the end of that scene.
She did.
Because he finally tells her it's Lola. Which is actually important to the script. She does finally say that Lola is the one.
He does eventually tell her at the end of the makeup
and
scene.
she goes, well, maybe you should go with him. Maybe she could handle having an emotional R word for her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she kind of like smirks, don't worry, I'm only joking. She drives off and the camera lingers on that boy watching her car go alone from far away. And he's just like... Gutted, alone.
Yeah.
This movie's great.
Yeah. It's
For
a good
how
movie.
fucked up this is, there's so much happening in this.
Right. Okay. So we're back at Mia is feeling up Jamie.
Back on the dance
floor.
floor.
Teacher comes up and everybody's staring at them and she kind of like snarls at them like, look, don't stare or whatever. I don't remember what she said. But she snarls at her peers. And the teacher then tells them to go somewhere else if they're going to act like that.
Which is kind of funny what happened.
No, right. Okay, so...
What kind of teacher is like, why don't you...
Well, don't forget, they just graduated high school, so he really has no power. So this is just an end of school dance.
This is a strong suggestion to get the fuck out of here with this behavior.
Yeah. So we're back at Lola's dad. Lola's dad is covering Brent with glitter. He's literally standing on a chair covering Brent with glitter while they dance in a pool of Brent's blood because remember Brent's feet are knifed to the floor. They're still attached to the floor.
Gross.
And then she tells him that he is not her prince. He's just another frog. And she stomps on his fucking bloody feet. And then she asks her dad to dance. Okay, this is really gross. Okay, so...
This is really gross.
Oh, wait. So Brent's razor necklace is in his pocket of his pants, and he manages to get it out, but it falls on the chair behind him. Okay?
Come on, Brent.
So then we'll go back
to somebody, man.
Lola and her dad are dancing, and she tells her dad that he is her prince. And that she can't find anyone else she likes because it's always been him.
Once again,
He's been molesting her?
We don't know.
Think so.
I honestly think that she's so manipulative.
She's manipulating him
I feel like she's manipulating him too. I think the whole time, like everything that's gone down has been Lola's psychosis and her dad's obsession with his daughter.
Yes.
Like his own.
She has.
You have to be a little bit gross.
Oh yeah.
Still.
Oh no, he's 100% gross.
But she has fostered this grossness in him to
she can
make
get
it get worse than it would. Yeah. Once again, I go imminent incest. I stop taking notes.
Yeah.
You're like, nah.
I mean, and she's like, just you and me, and they almost kiss. And I wrote, ick.
Ugh.
And then Brent falls back on the chair behind him, and then that startles them from kissing. So,
yeah.
Just let them make out, Brent. Sneak away.
There is no titillation in this movie.
No.
You do not want to see this stuff.
We don't want to see any of it. Okay, so then the cop comes and tells Mom and Holly that they've contacted search and rescue, and they'll be able to find Brent in the morning. And then we flash to Lola's dad, and he has butchers with a big butcher knife the head off the roadkill.
Yeah, the wombat.
Yeah. Then he throws it at Lola across the room.
This is where we go from fucked up movie to
Nuts.
crazy movie.
So he tosses, he's like, catch, and Lola catches the roadkill. So then he grabs a bucket of water, and then they move to the rug in the living room and move it out of the floor, and we see there's a hatch in the floor.
A giant 2-doored hatch in the floor.
Yeah, and they open that up, and there's crazy animal noises underneath. And Dad goes, drinky, drinky, and Lola goes, sing for your supper. And they basically pour water down and throw the roadkill down. And they're just crazy.
The other boys?
There are other boys down there.
Now,
Brent, you have to save them all!
This is so crazy. I love this moment because this Tippy canoes off of being like too hard to watch to being like, okay,
It's
this
not a cartoon, thank God.
this has become a cartoon. This
Thank
is
fucking God.
this is people under the stairs wackadoodle
Yeah,
shit
yes,
right now.
Yes. Okay, so Brent, since he fell on the chair, remember the razor fell on the chair, so he's down there with the razor and he starts cutting himself free. So Jamie and Mia now, we're flashback to them, they've pulled up somewhere and Mia tells him to fuck her, basically. Yeah. And then we see Lola's dad go outside. Now, this is a fun little game. So we don't know where Jamie and Mia have pulled up. And
right.
Lola's dad has gone outside. And then Jamie and Mia are naked having sex in the back of their car. Somehow
Jamie, you can't do this.
And then
she's not okay.
And then there's a knock on the window. And the movie makes us think that it's literally
that they have
Lola's,
pulled up outside of this Lola's
but,
farm.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's actually the teacher from before. And he's like, when I said go somewhere else, I meant leave school
like,
property.
I mean, get off school. It's so funny.
It's so funny.
In a dearth of comedy, he's like, when I said go someplace else, I meant the fuck 20 yards anywhere in any direction, you idiots, because they're still in the parking lot.
But it was so well done that it really thought like, oh, the boys they're going to be right outside this house that can help.
And maybe it's help time.
Yeah,
I do also like that teacher is like, I'm just trying to make you not my problem. You're being my problem right now. Can you fucking go?
Exactly.
If you're just out in the world having sex, not my problem.
I am 4 hours away from summer vacation and never having to see you fucking assholes again.
So it turns out Lola's dad had gone outside to get the toolbox from the back of his car and get a drill from inside.
Ugh.
Now, if you've seen anything about this movie, the cover, the trailer, whatever, the drill is the thing.
Yeah, so we're inside and Lola's like, you're my first, really. And Dad hands her the drill and tells her not to go too far, just enough to break through the skull. Okay, so then at this point, you remember, Mom has that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're drilling the skull.
We're drilling skulls.
Is he lobotomizing
It's basically
lobotomizing him. So Brent is trying to cut himself free, and Lola's like, remove the king's crown, Daddy. And so then Dad holds Brent's stable, like he wraps his arms around his head, while Lola advances with the drill. And Brent is literally terrified. You can just see everything about it is terrified.
Everything about this scene is harrowing as fuck.
Yeah. So,
this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre level of horror.
And she's holding the drill with one hand, and she goes to start it, and it bounces off his head.
It skips.
Yeah.
So she doesn't do enough pressure. The drill bit skips off of his forehead, and it makes a visible scar down like underneath his eye.
Yeah.
And you're just like, God damn this.
Yeah. And then Dad's like, I told you need to be more stable. You need to use both hands or whatever. And now the second time she gets it, at his forehead and you see it from behind. You just see her drilling into his head and the smoking and bone dust. Yeah, it's bone dust.
Guys, you know that I work with drills every day.
Hey, Jamie, don't put one on your forehead.
And then tomorrow, first thing, I'm going to pick up a drill and be like, ah!
So then Dad tells her to stop, and then they look, and he's like, perfect.
And during this time, a kettle is like...
Well, yeah, a kettle's boiling.
So while the drill sound's happening, there's like diogenic sound happening also that I'm chewing my own teeth at this moment. And the water's going...
Yeah, the kettle is whistling, and we're flashing through Brent's loved ones. His mom, his dad, his girlfriend. We're flashing through all his loved ones. I think it's like his gear up to like try to escape.
This is why I love this movie so much. There's a couple ways to take this. And as a viewer in this terrible scene, it could be like, these are the things that are going away.
Right.
This is going to go through your head, and you're going to lose all of these people who have been around you during this whole movie. Trying. But instead, what it turns out to be is more like what you are. It's pissing him off that he's going to die.
Yeah.
And he's taking an account of all of the things that he won't have anymore.
So they're going to boil his brains to turn him into one of the animals below. So they've drilled a hole to open up, and they're going to pour boiling water
That's the final part of this process.
Is that what they did to her mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's what they did to her mom.
Jesus.
That's the end. And she says something like, it makes you docile or something like that.
Yeah. Also, I wrote a note that electric kettles don't whistle, and that was a fucking electric kettle.
You're right. Fuck this one. You know what? Fuck this one.
That's what I've been saying.
Okay, so Dad, again, is holding Brent's head. And Lola goes to pour the water, and she misses and pours on Dad's arm. And
Good.
So then he's like, you've got to give it a bigger tip. Like, she's got to tip it more.
He's visibly disappointed in her and is teaching a child to do a menial
to murder
task.
someone. Yeah. So then she's like, the hole is too small. Can you please make it bigger, to her dad? So Dad grabs the drill. And he makes the fucking hole bigger.
Yeah, we got to do it again. We're not over yet.
No, we're not done. And meanwhile, Brent has got his hands free. And as their dad is drilling, he's getting his hands free. And he got his hands free, and then he slashes Dad's face, grabs the drill, pulls the knives out of his feet, and then he throws the drill at Dad's head, and then stabs him in the neck like
just
six
berserker rages this dad.
Yeah.
It is cool.
And then the whole time, Lola's just jumping, Daddy, Daddy! In the background.
To stand up, yank the knives out of your own feet, and use them in a berserker rage on this guy's face and neck, you're just like... Oh, thanks a little bit. Like, you get a little.
Yeah, you get a little. And then Lola jumps on Brent's back, and they wrestle. She's slap fighting like a girl. And then Brent punches her a couple times. And I can't tell if it's in her chest or her face. But I feel like it's her chest. He's punching her in the chest. Until she passes out, but she's not really out. So then he pushes Dad into the pit with the boys. Mm-hmm. And then we see these boys feed on him.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we're seeing these boys, and they are... filthy, naked. They all have hearts on their chests. All their hair, of course, is stringing in their faces. They're animals down there.
They're animals down there. Because they lobotomized them all.
It's terrifying. Yeah. And some of them have been down there for fucking years.
Right. And so at this point, Brent had ended up on his stomach. He's on the ground, and Lola actually grabs his legs from behind.
And almost like...
And, tips him into the pit, but he's hanging on with his hands.
Almost like wheelbarrowing him.
Yes, wheelbarrowing, yes. But then she grabs the hammer and bangs on his hands until he has to let go.
And he falls.
And he falls in the pit.
The other animal boys haven't been eating each other.
No, but they've
been feeding roadkill. That's the wombat scene earlier.
Yeah, but the idea that she would just dump that boy down there and be like, they're gonna eat you too. I'm like, no, but he's essentially one of them.
She just knows he can't get out.
Well, also the boys seem to have enough wherewithal to be like, we're gonna eat this fucking dad for sure.
They're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
they're going, and they kind of do. They recognize in Brent that he's one of the victims.
Yeah,
sort of.
Well, because he's got the heart.
No, they don't really. Okay,
they don't really.
So he falls and he scrabbles away into the corner, and the others are feeding on Dad while Lola's just yelling for him, and she's starting to throw things down there. She throws the hammer down there and the flashlight, trying to get these boys to leave her daddy alone, you know? She throws a bunch of shit down there.
Giving weapons.
Yeah, and then she calms down and whispers, Daddy, and then she closes the fucking hatch.
Yep.
And now he's alone in this cinder block room. It is a cinder block room with a hatch up there that's really high.
Piles of bones everywhere.
It is creepy as shit. And it is dark. So the lights adjust. And one of the things she flew down was a flashlight. So he grabs the flashlight and turns it on. And then he also grabs the hammer and he's waving it around.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. He is very much in danger down here.
He's very much in danger. So these boys start advancing on him. And he manages to knock one out, but the other two come after him. Back upstairs, Lola is just listening as all these boys fight. Now, we flash to Jamie is taking Mia home. She's really, really drunk, and she's really out of it. And the cop dad turns on the light when they get there, and he just watches her go inside. And the boy's kind of like,
the cop dad is not happy.
Sorry, But he leaves. Jamie
but he's
leaves.
not going to do anything.
He's not in trouble.
He's just like this. He's not surprised by this behavior, I don't think. I think it's just a continuation of his pain. Do we know for a fact that the Valentines are related?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know for a fact.
So did that boy never come home?
Right, the boy never came home.
We have no idea, according to the movie thus far, and spoiler, we won't, if Timmy Valentine ever gets found.
Well, they make a comment,
Yeah, we're about to. So this is just another broken-ass family.
Yeah. That Lola has destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back with Brent, and it seems he have subdued or killed the other boys.
Yeah, I just say it shows that he's fought them off.
He fought them off. He had a weapon, and they did not.
He must have at least knocked them out.
But this is where we flash around the room and we see that there is no way out.
Right.
He's stuck in here. So we're back with Mia, and she's crying in her room and is like, why can't you find him? Timmy, her brother, Yeah.
She's almost passed out in bed. She's not talking to anybody. Cop Dad basically overhears, why can't you find him?
Yep, why can't you find him?
Yeah.
Back with Lola, she has gone into Bright Ice's room and is smothering her with a pillow.
Good night, Mommy.
Good night, Mommy. This is when we know.
So now that Dad's...
This is when we know it's confirmed that this was her mother. Yeah.
Now Dad's dead in the crawl space. She clearly has a chip on her shoulder about Mom, so she's gone in there to kill Mom.
Yeah. And Brent is just sitting there on the floor, turning the light on and off. And then we're with Holly, and she's remembering that Lola Stone is the girl that asked Brent to the dance.
Yeah.
And so she calls the cop, and he heads to her house. And Brent hears the car pull up. And the cop, gets out of his car and he's looking in the window and he sees a bunch of blood everywhere because there's blood everywhere. And so then he takes his pistol out and he breaks in to the glass door. And Brent is like throwing things at
Because he still can't scream.
He still can't. Yeah, he still can't scream. I mean, he's trying to scream. He's making noises, but
this
he's not
actor
talking.
just once he's in this house, he says toilet and then makes
it.
noises.
Yeah.
I think that's the only word he's ever says throughout the whole movie.
Right. So he's throwing things at the hatch, trying to get the cop's attention, and the cop opens the hatch, but Lola is behind him.
Fucking murked immediately.
And
God damn
Brent
it.
points, and the cop turns around, but then she slams a butcher knife between his eyes.
No!
And he falls into the pit. But his gun is down
With
there
a
with
gun.
him. Brent grabs the fallen pistol and starts shooting at Lola, but all he manages to do is explode the...
They've had a disco ball up this whole time.
The whole time, and it explodes into pieces.
What is very, I hate that we missed that detail. So with the streamers and the balloons on the floor, there's been a disco ball that's been slowly turning, shooting little sparkles of light
been very
in
pretty.
this shitty, decrepit house.
One-room house.
This entire movie. And the one thing he hits is that disco ball and it explodes behind her head. It's beautiful shot from down below.
So then Lola finds Brent's razor necklace in a pool of blood. And she tells Brent she is going to his house now. And she's going to stab his mommy in the neck, just like he did her daddy.
Yep.
And she puts on the necklace. And then she's like, then I'm going to go stab Holly in the heart, just like you did to me.
Just like you stabbed me in the heart. Fuck
So,
this. You know what?
Lola.
Fuck this bitch.
so we see some scenes of Lola walking barefoot across fields and roads, singing her little crazy "I'm Not Pretty Enough" song,
Yeah.
carrying her book and a knife.
Oh, Lola, it is not about your looks.
No, because she's a cute little girl.
She's a terribly cute
about your-
little girl.
Yeah.
She's like a little...
Fucking
If a
psychosis.
bunny rabbit was a human.
So a car is coming down this road, and it's Holly in her little VW bug. And as she's driving down the road, a book is thrown at her windshield, and she stops the car, and she's just like looking at all this paper fly.
It's her scrapbook exploding.
It's Lola's
from
scrapbook,
the,
yeah.
from the inside.
And then Bloody Lola opens the passenger door, and Holly sees Brent's necklace hanging from Lola's thing, and because Holly was like, something is wrong. And they start wrestling and fighting. She comes at her with a knife, and eventually Holly's able to kick her in the face and run off. So now Brent was able, in that room when he was flashing, he got an idea about how to escape. So he actually now stacks all the dead bodies, because now we
Yeah,
know
it's-
all the boys are dead.
It's very funny.
But there's like 5 dead bodies down there now.
He's looking, and there's these little bone piles, and he's like, "I've got a bunch of bones I could pile up with this
got
form of
5
5
dead
corpses."
bodies, yeah.
So he makes a corpse temple,
Yeah.
essentially to crawl up.
Yeah, and it's able to get him high enough to pull himself out of the hatch, because after the cop fell in, Lola never closed it again.
Yeah.
It's been open the whole time. So then he gets into the cop's car, and he's racing toward his house. And Lola is running down the road, chasing Holly down the road. That's happening at the same time. So we have a cop car cresting a hill. At the same time, the girls are trying to crest a hill. They cannot see each other because it's
Right.
a hill. And at the very last minute, Brent sees Holly, and he swerves to avoid her. And then as he's looking behind him, he hits Lola, and she hits the windshield and flies over the car.
This is another parallel, swerving to miss a body, but
Yeah.
this time he swerved to miss his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He saved her life by swerving,
Right.
and ends up hitting Lola.
And then Holly runs and gets into the cop car, but Brent's appearance just startles the crap out of her.
She almost breaks down in tears immediately. Like,
And
she's
she is.
stunned into tears about how
Yeah,
he looks.
it's bad. And then this is the funniest part of this
I
fucking
love
movie.
this so much.
So Lola is crawling on her belly toward the cop car. She's got the knife in one hand, and she's literally digging the knife into the road and
It's
pulling
going to-
herself.
Her other arm is snapped at the wrist, and the bones are sticking
Yeah,
out.
and she's just using this knife
Pink-
to drag herself.
Pink dress to tatters, covered in gore, dragging herself with nothing
this
but
cop car.
fucking wrath towards this car. And
Which is like it's like 40 feet away.
it's so far from each other. It pulls actually back to show how far. It's just like tink, tink, and Holly and Brent in
But
the
she
car.
looks so creepy, like
Yeah,
bad.
she's
so
insane. That's why the push on her face is
Yeah.
for so long. So then Brent and Holly in the
look at
car
each
just
other.
look at each other like, can you believe it? Reverse lights.
Yep, and then they just
The car
Lola
starts
watches-
going backwards, and then the
It's
camera,
like all slow motion or something.
the camera takes
forever.
30 seconds, 40 seconds to push in on Lola's face, who's just sitting there on the road,
Yeah.
waiting, and then full on bumps her head to death. Like,
Right.
it's a very fast impact.
And then we go to a scene where Brent's mom is sitting in the front window looking out the window, and we see the cop car showed up, and she sees the kids come out, and they all hug. The end.
And the three of them hug, and we get on Brent, and he closes his eyes.
Okay, and then the end. That's it.
Dude, I like it. It's harrowing. What do you think, Lindsay?
Her cop dad is dead.
Yeah,
No,
everybody's
no.
dead.
Brother never found.
I do not want to talk about Mia. Mia does not get through this.
She doesn't get any catharsis.
There's
in
no
this.
catharsis for that other family
No,
because
there's
now her
not.
dad's gone.
Her dad's gone too. Yeah.
So that aside,
Well, the only thing would be like, well, your brother didn't run away. Because now it's like worse because you could almost kind of hope that he ran away or something. And now he's like,
no,
I definitely know what happened to your
technically
brother.
speaking, we don't know if he's dead or not.
But he was definitely lobotomized before he got out.
I can't imagine
so you're
why.
like, if he's still out there, he's wandering around, he doesn't know who he is.
He walked
doesn't
into
know
the
where he
outback
is.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like the morning of Lola's death, it is a sweltering Australian road. That continent must be rough to survive on.
Yeah. So he
That's why
probably...
everybody. Have you ever seen the population of
Yeah,
it?
it's all on the
Everything is on the coast. That's
Yeah.
everyone's there. The whole middle of that place is
Desert.
fucking for,
Yeah.
for-
So he
for
probably
dangerous
just
ass animals.
wandered till he expired.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the loved ones as a title is Lola Stone's boys that she keeps forever in the basement, but also it is the people that you keep in your life.
Yes.
You cultivate your loved ones to get you to survive through this shit.
Sure. Yeah.
And Brent is never going to be okay again.
No.
He was
No.
already struggling.
But he might
He's
be,
permanently
though.
scarred. He might be more mentally stable because he had something to live for.
I really
Was
do
able to
think
prove he
that
could
that
do
is why
but-
we focus on him closing his eyes, because it's such a moment of peace for him at the very end of this movie. It's the most peaceful he is in the entire movie.
I guess the only thing they are is like he found his will to live because he didn't have it in the beginning. He kept being like, maybe I'll die, maybe I'll whatever.
Well, he always thought about dying, and then when danger happened, he held fast.
Yeah.
So it's
He played with
ideation,
dying.
but not. The will was always within him. I think he just realized when that drill's going in his head that he has people that can help him through this. I mean, the movie's not that twee or black and white about it. He's trying to communicate "I love you" in the card to Holly before all of this happens.
Right.
So it's just,
Kid's having a bad year.
it's a bad year, dude.
Just a rough year.
The loved one is all of us. Each of us hurts. We're all tied to a chair and being drilled in our heads every fucking day, right? There's a village that we're a part of, and it's the village that saves us.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a good fucking
It
movie
is a
if
good
you have
movie.
the stomach for it.
If you have the stomach for it,
Kill
yes.
your Lolas.
It is
Can I
a
say,
brutal movie.
In the trailer, they were playing that Whatever Lola Wants song, the trailer
Oh,
that
really?
I saw.
That's never in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Love Hurts is the trailer for it.
Whatever Lola
Yeah,
wants.
and sadly, we don't all get these connections because if you don't foster these connections, we could all disappear in the crawl space forever.
I guess there is also, I know all those other kids that she was holding down there, they died, but at least they're free.
Yeah.
Free.
Because
They're
they
free
were
now.
I would
pretty...
rather be killed than be in a fucking basement
yeah.
eating roadkill.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You're all free now.
Any other final thoughts on the loved ones? You're
No.
going to run right out and watch it, right?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, I guess, do we have a question from John?
This question is from our listener Bronte. Do you think it's possible that a horror movie can psychologically alter our mindset enough to change our behavior and mode of lifestyle after watching a dreadful movie?
I sort of alluded to it in the beginning. I don't watch movies like this because they stick around in my head in a way that is upsetting
Sure.
to me. But that also goes for, I don't know if it happens to everybody, but I've also always had it when I watch something that's just so beautiful. Like I finished yesterday When Life Gives You Tangerines,
Right.
which is like, it's sad, but it's beautiful, it's great. And there's like, anytime I finish something that's that good, there's like an hour where I just sit there and I'm like, nothing seems like it should be something that I should be doing because I just finished something so beautiful and I'm just like stuck in that moment.
Sure.
So I was like, so Bronte said dreadful, but sometimes I get affected by things because I'm just like, and I just thought of, I had dreams about, I was in my dreams, everyone was speaking Korean last night, like, because that's how much my brain is just like, can't let it go, how beautiful it was. And it's probably going to keep circling around me for like the next week or so.
Sure.
I'm going to keep thinking about it.
I'm going to take Bronte's dreadful to not mean you watched a bad movie, but a harrowing movie like this. This is a movie I like quite a bit, but it was very much a dreadful movie. And I think that's what, in the context of horror movies and what we talk about here, What do you have a?
You're talking, so I was listening.
No, no. That's what I'm throwing to you if you have something, because I might go
personally.
on a little
I mean, just personally, like, yes. Well, I mean, this will go for all movies. Like, stories have a tendency to change you for a little bit. You become more aware of how that story makes you think differently, and that thinking differently, you might be a little more careful about what you say or what you do for a short period of time before your regular personality comes back. And that's just how all stories would do for me. Whether they're, like you said, dreadful or happy or any of that stuff. All of it is going to, like, teach you lessons. The part is going to be, is this a permanent lesson or is it a temporary lesson? And I guess it matters how much it touched you.
Have you ever finished watching something that put you in a bad fucking mood?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Mine's The News.
No, I hate that show.
Yeah, I know. I love that. What movie was that from?
It was in one of our podcasts.
It was in one of our
Idle
podcasts. What movie
Hands.
was that?
Yeah,
Idle
it was
Hands.
Idle
Idle
Hands.
Hands. Yes,
Oh, I hate
Stephen Sawa. That was great.
Same, Anton, same. Just turn it off and then I'm just pissed off all the time. But I know that, I can't think of them, but I know there have been movies that have done that to me too. Something like this movie eventually came to a close where what you wanted was for those people to be fucking murdered. But if they had written it differently and it just, there have been movies that just ends and there's no
What you were worried
justice
about
at all.
was this seems like a torture porn movie.
Yes.
And I find those to be galling because there isn't a catharsis or even worse to me, a point. I think this one has an incredibly beautiful point to try to make.
They're trying to say, yeah.
And I do this, I think most people who love narrative in general do this with books. I do this very largely with music, but that's mostly emotional rather than instructive as a way to live life or change your life. I clearly have done this with movies. Those are my building blocks. Mm-hmm. My walls are covered with cinema stuff. We're doing this podcast. We're not talking about songs. We're talking about movies. And I think that it is, for me, they're all building blocks. Yeah, I think it's all like important. And I just keep stacking Jaws on top of The Loved Ones on top of Psycho in order to build a basic frame of how
that's
to
the point that all creators want, is at the end of the day that somebody out there took something from it, regardless of how long that lasted. I mean, you want whatever you made to make somebody feel something.
That's it.
That's all you need.
That's the whole currency. That's the only currency of art.
Yeah.
I don't care. You can't sell it for shit. The only currency of art is how it inspires further art.
Yeah.
That's what, I don't want to get too meta here, but like in the radio show I worked on before, we were always interviewing like poets, novelists, authors, but it was always ultimately about storytelling. Mm-hmm. Like since the beginning of time, before stories were written, they were told. Yes. And storytelling has always been essential in like passing down the history, but also like teaching lessons and morals and just like building a society. So I think that movies and TV shows and things, they're just modern interpretations of media that has existed forever, because it's always about, I mean, now that's not to say there's not a lot of like, you know, there's Real Housewives and shit out there. There's like dumb shit too.
Count.
But there are other stories that people are trying to, they do have a message and a moral and something that they're trying to say. So I will say that I do think that this movie, in terms of like, especially in like consent and like what's being done to you and then finding your will to live and fight back, I think it does have things to say. Whereas something like an Eli Roth hostile situation, again, that's one of those things that I watched. It has fucked me up since I saw where he cut the Achilles. That's in there forever. That's locked into my brain. I can never let it go.
I've never seen it.
Me neither. I've never seen
Eli
it.
Roth typically...
Hate it.
Remember, we did Thanksgiving. I believe the name of that podcast was The Worst One. And to this day, it still is.
You've always hated Eli Roth.
Because he's out there just...
People give him a lot of credit, and I think it's just a me problem. I'm not the arbiter of Eli Roth's talent. He just doesn't hit me right.
In the same way that Final Destination is about like killing and maiming people in new and inventive ways, I feel like every Eli Roth movie is like, what's the craziest way we could fucking like, he's out there trying to scar people, and I'm like, he's
a troll in that way.
I don't vibe with that, my man. I have mental problems. Don't give me more.
With the finished...
Keep it to yourself.
Just at the end of all of this, you can, as a creator, make something to be a bad actor and just be there to be a troll, or I want to make people feel bad, or you can willfully make art trying to make people feel good. And you can make a beautiful K-pop romance and drill a young boy in the head and obtain the same attempt to make someone feel good. It's just coming with good faith to your human audience to build off of our endless narrative.
For the audience also is what kind of journey you want to take. You want to take a harrowing journey where the man is in a pit and he has to get out of the pit?
Right.
Or do you want to just watch somebody who, finds something and doesn't really change more than momentarily?
Well, that's like, also in the K-drama sphere, Squid Game. I've finished that whole thing, and that whole thing is like torturous, inventive ways to like kill and maim people. But it's also got a message that's rolling the whole way through that people, you guys didn't watch it, but it's like, humans are not horses, humans are. You gotta watch it if you haven't seen it. You won't get it.
Someday.
At the end of the day, what we're trying to say, don't worry, there's torture content for you. And with that said, you have just barely survived another episode of the Creature Podcast. I want to thank our producer, Jamie. She's always loved you at cherrystreetstudios.com or cherry_street_studios on Instagram. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for all of our music. Our art is made by myself and Lindsay. You get all of our episodes and all of our merch and a wide array of drill bits at creaturepop.com. Until next time, say happy, John.
Happy John!